Hello students, today we are going to cover the topic combined operation of different power plants, which is in the last chapter of our subject power plant engineering. Now let's start. The combined operation of different power plants. The different types of power plants are located in places best suited to each type. Now first of all we discuss the various important points for the different types of power plants. The hydroelectric power plants are developed only at sites where a huge quantity of water is available at sufficient head and where a storage of water is possible by the use of dams in naturally favorable positions. Whereas the steam and nuclear and diesel power plants can be located at or near the load centers. Now, in order to have the most economic operation and ensure the optimum utilization of the power, it becomes necessary to operate the different power plants located in regions in an integrated system. For this purpose, all the power plants are connected together. The system is called as the interconnected system and centrally supervised and controlled. Okay, so the system in which all the different types of power plants like hydropower plant or thermal power plant or nuclear or gas turbine power plant or diesel power plant work together or in coordination with respect to each other, then that system is called as the interconnected system. The proper coordination of the generation of electrical power in a group of power plants connected to a common grid system leads to a considerable saving as compared with the same loads fed from a number of independent power plants. So there exists a lot of saving when the power plants are connected in coordination with respect to each other. First of all, it enables the total generating capacity to be reduced since less spare capacity is required, because the extra demand can be covered by using some different power plants at the same time. Secondly, it allows the system to be planned such that the power plant to be loaded up to the point so that the minimum amount of fuel is consumed. So at the time of the rainy season, we always prefer to use the hydro plant as its maximum capacity. And when the rainfall is less, so then we shift to some other types of power plants. Now the advantages of combined operation of plants. If several power plants work together to meet the demand of the consumer, then the system is known as interconnected system. Now the various advantages are, the first one is the greater reliability of supply to the consumers. The reliability of the supply is always there if the power plants work together in the interconnected system. When one of the stations fails to operate, like if there's fault occurs in any one of the system, the consumers can be fed from other stations, thus avoiding complete shutdown. The overall cost of energy per unit of an interconnected system is less. There is more effective use of transmission line facilities at higher voltage. Less capital investment is required. Less expenses on supervision, operation and maintenance, because generally the conditions of complete shutdown are avoided in these cases. So this is the load division between the different power stations. So this is the load division chart. A load duration curve, it illustrates the variation of the certain load in a downward from such that the greatest load is plotted in the left and smallest one in the right on the time axis. The time duration for which each certain load continues during the day is given. Like this, in this load duration curve, this drawn for 24 hours of the day. On the y-axis there is load in megawatt and on the x-axis there is a time in the hours. The maximum load, let us suppose here it is 30 megawatt, it is plotted first, then the next lowest, then the next lowest, and so on. The 24 hours are covered for a day. Now when the load curve has a very high peak value, it is usually supplied for 2 or more power stations by interconnection. Now when the load is at its peak, then it is not supplied by the single power station, it is supplied by some the interconnection, like some hydrothermal coordination is done or some other plant's coordination is done at that time. Now the load is divided into two parts. One is the base load and another one is the peak load. Base load is supplied by one power station and the other power stations take care of the peak load. Now the requirements of the plant supplying the base load, that what are the conditions for particular plants which are act as a base load plants. It must have minimum operation cost, it continuous supply of the load, the capital cost of the plant should be minimum, requirements of plant maintenance should be minimum, plant should be such that it can be easily located near the load center. So these are the conditions for the base load plant. The number of operators required should be minimum, because the base load plant should have to work for continuously for the 24 hours. So these conditions must be fulfilled. Now the requirements of the plant supplying peak load plant. Peak load plants are only those plants which can switched on only at the time of the system peak. So the requirements for this are low operating cost, minimum capital cost, capable of quick operation from cold conditions. Like these peak load plants include only those plants which can start at once in quick manner. In the case of emergency, the plant should have the capacity to withstand peak load for some time. Quick response to the change in load. When the load increases, it generally starts quickly. Now the various different types of power plants. For hydroelectric power plants, its operating cost is minimum, maintenance cost is lower. Operating cost is minimum because the fuel generally used here is water, which is generally available from the nature. Maintenance cost is lower. Initial cost is high because the capital involved in the hydroelectric power plant is very high cost. Can't be located near to the load center because lots of land is required for its dams, reservoirs and tailrace. Now for the steam power plants, capital cost is more, can be located near the load center, maintenance requirement is slightly higher. Diesel power plants, due to the limited generating capacity, it is not used as a base load plant. Diesel plants are generally used only for the peak load plants. Nuclear power plants, initial cost is very much high. Limited availability of fuel, not favored. Whenever they are constructed, they are used as a base load plants due to constant supply. Now the hydroelectric plant, when used as a peak load plant, it can be easily started, and in this category generally the pumped type hydroelectric plants are used, which can be easily started. No fuel is required. Power plants, they are not used as a peak load plants, they are generally only used for the base load plants. In case of diesel power plants, easily start from the cold conditions. These diesel power plants are quickly started. The number of auxiliaries required is limited, so less maintenance is required. They have good overload capacity, less operating cost than the steam power plants. Now the hydroelectric plant in combination with the steam power plant. Hydroelectric plants can take up the load quickly and follow the peak variations much better than the thermal plants. When the runoff is sufficient, like in case of the rainy season, hydro plant is used as a base load plant and thermal plant is then used as a peak load plant. The thermal plant is used as a base load plant during the drought period, when there is no enough water is there in the reservoir of the hydro plant, and hydro plant works as a peak load plant. Now these curves, these are the again load duration curves for different categories. In the first curve, the hydro plant is used as a base load plant, whereas in the second curve, the thermal plant is used as a base load plant, and here hydro is used as the peak load plant. Here again we see that the highest load is covered first, then the lowest, then the lowest. That means in case of the load duration curve, the peak loads are plotted first, then lowest. That is, the load is plotted in case of the descending order. Now, introduction to the pump storage plants. Pumped storage power plants are a special type of power plants which work as a conventional hydropower station for part of the time. When the plants are not producing power, they can be used as pumping stations, which pump water from the tail race side to the high level reservoir. The working of the power station can be distinguished as the generating phase, when the turbines and generators are electrical power, and pumping phase when the pump and motors are in operation. Like this is the figure. When there is the rainy season, generally the upper reservoir is filled completely with the water and the hydro plant can be used as such. But in case of drought season, when there is no enough water is available in the upper reservoir, so from the lower reservoir, the tail race, the water is pumped back to the upper reservoir for the normal working of the power plant. So there are two phases of working. One is the generation phase and another one is the pumping phase. In the generation phase, generally turbines and generators work, whereas in the pumping phase, generally the pumps and turbine in the lowest can work to pump the water back to the upper reservoir. Now the pump storage plant combination with the steam power plant. Pump storage plants are used to take up the peak load plants and used for short duration. These plants possesses the following advantages when used in interconnected system. Thermal plants are loaded more economically. Less load is implanted on the thermal power plant. A pump storage plant stores the energy and the same supplied when the demand arises. Now the coordination of hydro plant with the gas turbine plants. Hydro plants is used during the base load requirement. Gas turbine plants used to take up the peak load. Why they are used for the peak load type? Because they can start quickly at the time of peak load period. The following points are worth noting about the gas turbine plant. The normal capacity of the plant is generally 10 to 20 megawatt only. The capital cost of plant is less as compared to the steam plant. High working cost can be compensated by the lower fixed charges and low operational and maintenance cost. It also occupies less power, less space. Construction and installation can be carried out in smaller period. Cooling water requirement is less. Response of gas turbine plant is quick. So generally, due to these reasons, it can be used as a peak load plant only. Now this is the example of this project in India. That is the Kavas power plant project in Gujarat, having the capacity of 645 megawatt combined cycle generation plant, which is the combination of the steam power plant with the gas turbine power plants. So this is the pictorial view for the Kavas power plant project in Gujarat. Thank you.